everyone, and welcome to Molehill Mountain, episode 114. Andrew Eisen here, along with E. Zachary Knight. Hello, Zach.
Hello, Andrew. Hello, everybody out there.
Matthew, excluding the Nintendo Online crap, the Direct was good. Well, we
We'll
know how
get to
you
that.
feel. Oh, yeah. Yes,
Oh,
because I have opinions, too.
yeah.
So, doing all right. I have to say, though, that the thing that stood out to me most this week was actually not in the Nintendo Direct, which I did watch and enjoyed. It was the Ryoga Gotoku team,
Mhm.
the Yakuza peeps. They got a new game, and it's not a Yakuza game. It's called Judge Eyes. It's probably not
Judge
going to be
eyes,
called that when it comes out in America. But they announced we'll probably see more of it at TGS. They released 2 trailers, like they do for Yakuza. Actually, like happens fairly frequently for story-heavy games like the Yakuza games or like Kojima's the Metal Gear Solid stuff. They'll usually have like 2 trailers. They'll have a 4 or 5 minute story trailer, and then they'll have another 4 or 5 minute gameplay trailer. I really
Yeah.
like the way they do that. I don't think you can do exactly the same thing in America because we don't have the attention span to sit through a 5 minute commercial, let alone 2 of them. But I think that's a pretty decent way to advertise them because they're 2 sides of a very cool coin there.
Yeah.
But man, this Judge Eyes thing has me very excited. I saw that and I went, ooh. Essentially, it seems to be like taking, imagine Phoenix Wright,
Yeah.
just drop him into a Yakuza game. That whole, yeah, because Phoenix Wright is he's that TV lawyer. I guess the comparison would be our Law and Order episodes, where the
Yeah.
lawyers are also, for some reason, the investigators, which is so weird. But it makes for a good video game because what Phoenix Wright does is he's like, I have a case, so now I'm going to go out and investigate the crime scenes and stuff because because I'm a lawyer. Um, and this game seems to be kind of that. You have a lawyer who I'm not completely sure on the story, but the guy either is or was a lawyer, but he's on the street kind of doing the whole PI thing. So instead
Yeah.
of but it takes place in Kamurocho, the same place that Yakuza takes place. So maybe you'll run into Kiryu or one of the denizens of Kamurocho or Goro Majima or something like that. That'd be cool. But the game is a little different as it has a lot of stuff where you have to you like have a list of, okay, the guy I'm looking for has a mole above his right eye and wears a beanie cap, and you look around the crowd and you're like, uh-huh, 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 aha, that's him. And then you follow him and you hide around corners and stuff, and you can take pictures of like people, some congressperson
Yeah.
cheating on his wife, heading into a hotel with some other woman. You have a little drone that you can use to take pictures of people. They showed off some of the mini games. One of them is pinball, which somehow has never been in any of the Yakuza games, which is kind of surprising.
Nice.
Um, I watched that. I'm like, I need this in my life now, and I'm busy playing Yakuza Kiwami 2, and I've already been whining to Sega about bringing over Yakuza Kaizen and Ishin, the other Yakuza spin-off games, and Fist
Hmm.
of the North Star comes out next month, and I see the next new shiny thing. I'm like, ooh, I want. But it looks really cool, and this guy is the protagonist's fighting style is a lot more wire fu uh, uh, influence than the more brawler type of fighting that we've seen in the Yakuza games. I mean, he's
Yeah.
like the way Majima fights only turned up to 11. Um, Matthew says it's built in the same engine. It does indeed appear to be in the same engine. Takes place in the same place. Yep, seems to have a lot of the same gameplay. Yeah, in the sense that the combat system works exactly the same way. I mean, the moves are completely different, but the guy fights much differently than Kiryu does. But if you are competent with the Yakuza games, you're going to pick up and play this easy. But it does seem to have a much different focus than the Yakuza games with the whole private investigator defense lawyer thing. It'll be really interesting to see if they go full on court battle type of thing with this game. If there will be sequences where you're in court presenting evidence or something, that'd
Yeah.
be really neat. So anyway, I
Yeah, I saw it.
geeked out
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't pay too much attention to it because I've never actually I've never played any of the Yakuza games, so I just didn't feel like paying too much attention to that one. Yeah, let's see. Was there any game news this week that I cared about? No, I can't think of anything. Goodness.
Is
So
everyone okay back there? And it might need to WD-40 them hinges.
yeah, our house is very creaky. Yeah, I guess the only thing that the only thing that really caught my attention this week was the Nintendo Direct, I think, because I don't I can't think of anything else.
All
So,
right. Well, Matthew recommends Yakuza 0, and I would say that's
runs on a toaster.
it's a great one to start with. It's the earliest. There are some inside jokes you won't get if you haven't played any of the others, but it is a good. I think it's probably the best paced out of all of them. One of the easiest to get into. So let's see. All right, let's talk about the Nintendo Direct. So
right.
as the Nintendo Direct was originally going to be last week, but Japan got hit with a massive damn earthquakes, and that got delayed.
Yeah.
But it's back, and I'd be interested to. It's never going to happen, but I'd really like Nintendo to just put out the original version of the Nintendo Direct just to compare and contrast. Just see if
just to see what.
were made.
Yeah.
But that's almost certainly never going to happen, which I find kind of disappointing. So it started off with a brand new game announcement: Luigi's Mansion 3.
A working title.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I did like the stylized ghost making the 3. That was really cool.
Yeah, and I get what they're doing. It's like, what are they still debating on the subtitle? My guess is they're probably, for North America at least, going, well, we had Luigi's Mansion on the GameCube, and then the second one was on the 3DS, but we didn't actually use a number. It was just Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. So if we go straight to 3, are people going to forget about the one that was on the 3DS? Are they going to...
Yeah.
Should we keep the pattern of not using the numbers? And it's like, well, we had Aliens, and then Alien 3, so just call it Luigi's Mansion 3.
Yeah.
So,
then we had we had Predator 2, Predators, the Predator.
if you skip Alien versus Predator and Alien versus Predator Requiem.
I always want to call it Requiem of a Dream or something. I think that's a Castlevania title, isn't it?
No, that's a Darren Aronofsky movie.
Oh, okay. But
which is a great film that I have no desire to ever watch again. It's one of those, it's really genuinely a good film, but it is just really heavy and not fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a movie that you're like, yeah, I want to watch this again. It's like, no, I've seen it. It's good. No need to ever watch it again. Damn good film.
Yeah, but circling back to Luigi's Mansion, I agree with you. They're probably, they're just calling it 3 for now because it's the third one in the series. But they're probably trying to decide on a subtitle, and that's probably what they're going to do is give it a subtitle. So, what do you think of the 2-player aspect?
That's included in Luigi's Mansion the
Oh,
first
is that
one.
the first?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the first one. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
because they're releasing the first one on the 3DS. So yeah, forgot that was the first one. I thought they were doing that for the
Mhm.
third one too, but no, I'm just
Yeah,
confusing them
kind of
all.
kind of funny that the
Yeah.
unless I missed something, that Luigi's Mansion original is coming to the 3DS but not the Switch. I don't know if that's a we don't want to confuse anything or
Yeah,
but
I think it's just because they don't want to get anybody's hopes up that they're going to be bringing GameCube games to the Switch.
well, I mean they already are. I mean there was something on GameCube that came to Switch and let me look through the list, see if I can spot it. I don't know. Maybe I'll think of it later. Yeah, Luigi's Mansion 3, what the brief look we got, it looks pretty.
Yeah.
I like the fact that it seems to um, take place in one mansion because I liked Dark Moon okay, but where it didn't work for me was its portableness, if that makes
Yeah.
its handheldness. How the handheld game is structured is it's meant to be played in 15-20 minute bursts.
Yeah.
There's like 5 or 6 different mansions in the game. And you go into the mansion, you complete a task or a quest, and then you're immediately booted back out to home base, which I found annoying. I was
Hmm.
like, I want to stay in the mansion and explore. I don't want to keep getting kicked back to the hub every time.
Yeah.
Uh, and so my hope for, and it seems pretty likely that the new Luigi's Mansion, there's a mansion, it's big, get in there, stay in there, and explore.
Yeah.
So I also found it kind of funny that Nintendo really tipped their hand with the Simon Belmont announcement a few weeks back, because
Oh yeah.
as
Yeah.
as a lot of people noticed, that's a new Poltergust whatever thousand on his back. That's a new
Yeah.
design. Why are they using a brand new design? Is there a new Luigi's Mansion? Yes. And
Yeah.
that whole firing a plunger out of the flashlight came with that was in the trailer. That you see that in the game too. Um, so
Yeah. That was most likely intentional because they
mhm.
wanted to build a little bit of hype before the official announcement.
Yeah. The only thing uh, I'm not. I thought the ghosts in Luigi's Mansion 2 were just kind of generic because they're just
Yeah.
kind of spooky ghost. I miss the personality of a lot of the ghosts in the first one because
Yeah.
you had like an old guy in a smoking jacket and pipe in a rocking chair. You had a workout ghost. You had a baby ghost. And you had generic ghosts too, but you had a lot of different ghosts with really interesting personalities. You didn't have that really in the second one, and I'm not seeing any of that in the like 40-second trailer that we saw. Not to say they're not going to be in there, but I'm just holding out hope that we have some ghosts with some personality in this third.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it's tough to say at this early in stage in development, and with the little info we have. But yeah, it's that was one of the cool things about the Ghostbusters. The movie and the cartoon was the ghosts all were different. They had personality and everything.
Mhm.
And it was fun watching them bust the ghosts because each one was a different experience. It was a different. They had a different approach, a different
Yeah,
different look of the ghost, the
the
way
ghost
they
design in
acted,
the
and
cartoon was always really varied and creative. That
yeah,
was one of the many great things about that old show.
yeah,
But moving on from Luigi's Mansion 3, working title, um, we had. I also want just a second. Working title. Also, it's like, do they put that there because they're afraid that someone's going to be really angry if in 2019 you said in September it was called Luigi's Mansion 3, not Luigi's Mansion 3 colon and subtitle. You lied to us. I'm calling the
the
Better
Better
Business
Business
Bureau
BS.
on you.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, next, Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn, port of the Wii game. Pretty sure that's a
Yeah,
Wii
that's a
game.
Wii
Yeah.
game. Yeah.
coming to the Switch. I
Is
guess
that coming
they're
to the Switch? I thought that was the 3DS. Pretty sure that was
pretty
the
sure that I thought
3DS.
that was Switch. Let me gets crafty again. Let me see if there's a. Oh no, you're right. That's
Yeah.
3DS.
I was gonna say
Oh,
I could have sworn that was 3DS.
okay.
Hmm.
I sit corrected.
Yeah.
So Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn is coming to the 3DS. And you say, "Oh, Andrew, you're going to miss out on it because you're not a big into handhelds." It's like it's okay. I played it on the Wii.
Yeah.
Oh, not to brag, but I 100%ed Kirby's Extra Epic
It's not
Yarn.
like it's that hard.
Yeah, beating the game is not hard because I think you can't die,
Yeah,
but
you can. Yeah.
100% completing it is not like Contra or Battletoads tough or anything like that, but can
Yeah.
be challenging.
Yeah.
Some of the challenge, some of
Yeah.
the collect all the gems is kind of tough.
Yeah, and some of the boss battles they throw a lot of crap at you, and one wrong move and you lose all your beads. But yeah, and I like it, and I like Kirby's
I
Epic
liked
Yarn.
it.
My
I
kids
liked it.
like it, and it's a fun game that I can play with them because yeah, it's easy. Yeah, it's something all of my kids can just pick up and play because there's no real struggle for them. Like trying to play something like Mega Man or Mario Brothers with them, they get frustrated if they end up dying and can't continue with us. And
Oh, I
and
tried Mega Man 11 again this afternoon. I still couldn't beat it. Of course, I tried once and I went,
yeah,
nope. So I just suck.
yeah,
Leaf is all about in the chat here is all about Luigi's Mansion and Animal Crossing,
yeah.
and the Joy Cons are breaking. I'm sorry to hear that, because replacing them isn't cheap, and neither is the Pro Controller. Uh,
Yeah,
but Animal Crossing is the very end of the direct, so
yeah, we'll get
it's
to
gonna be a
that.
while before we get to
But
that.
yeah, so with the Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn, it's not just a port. They're adding a whole bunch of new content, and you get to play as King Dedede and Meta
Meta
Knight.
Knight was in there.
Yeah, and I don't know if you can play through the entire game as them. I think it might just be extra challenge modes as them. But
Hard to, yeah, I'm not
yeah,
clear.
but there's going to be
So,
extra levels and all of that stuff too. So it's essentially going to be a whole new game for those who played the Wii one and want a portable and fun Kirby game for the 3DS. Can't go
the,
wrong with it.
the Wii
So
one.
yeah, but
The Wii one is on the smaller.
yeah. Yeah, the Wii game is on the small system,
All
but
right. Well,
yeah,
Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn is coming to 3DS. So the Wii U Kirby game, Rainbow Road, Rainbow Curse, Rainbow something
I
like
think it's Rainbow Curse. Yeah,
that
that
should
one
come to the Switch. Although it would be kind of hard to do because if it used
because
the
yeah,
exact same
it
control
used
scheme, you would have to play it undocked.
yeah, which
But
would be annoying for
well,
someone
I mean,
like you. But
it's well, I already played it on the
yeah,
Wii U. I mean, that's how you have to play it on the Wii U. Is it runs on the television, but you have to stare at the gamepad anyway. So,
yeah,
in fact, I think I wrote the guide for that. I 100%ed that game too, which is significantly harder than Kirby's Epic Curse. Or, I'm sorry, Kirby's Yarn.
Epic Yarn.
Epic
Yeah,
Yarn, that's what it's called.
yeah,
So next, getting a port of, and this is 3DS too, right? Yes.
yeah.
Bowser's Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story. And like they've been doing with the other Mario and Luigi game, they are adding, whether you like it or not, and it appears most people don't, are adding an extra little mode. This one's Bowser Jr.'s Journey. But it's
Oh,
kind of an
yeah,
extra mode where you take minions and you get into little mini battles. And from what I've been reading, most people just think it's kind of lame. Like the idea
yeah,
is fine, it just doesn't play that well. And I've been seeing a lot of the same reactions. They're like, "Oh God, this again." But Bowser's Inside Story is is a pretty great game. I really liked it. I wrote the guide for that too. 100%ed it, which you kind of have to do if you're writing the guide.
Yeah, that's true. If you're not 100%ing it, it's going to be a pretty lousy guide. So
yeah. What's neat about the game is Mario and Luigi are doing their whole inner space thing. They're like microscopic and they're inside Bowser's body. So Bowser is wandering around trying to save the kingdom, and the Mario Brothers are helping out where they can. Like if he needs to punch harder, then they'll find his punch gland and fight it to make him punch harder. And also, if he like drinks a lot of water, he can fill his stomach with water, and it turns the levels in his body into swimming areas, so you can new places. My favorite part of the game is there's this like pig enemy that freezes, and Bowser basically goes up and sucks on this frozen pig's schnoz to ice over his innards, which is just so damn hilarious.
Interesting. Yeah.
They're skipping the Partners in Time one. Yeah, because they did the first Superstar Saga, and yeah, I guess I don't recall the second one, so I guess they just skipped over it. I do hear that a lot of people don't like it. I haven't played it, so
yeah,
I really don't know. Let's see. Okay, so next was Luigi's Mansion. The original is hitting the 3DS. So
okay.
Nice if you're young and haven't played it, because it's a great game. That is Yokai Watch Blasters, which is the 80th game in that franchise. And
I still have not played a single one of them. And I tried to watch an episode of the anime, and it was not all that interested in it.
It's Pokemon-ish, right? There's a bunch of monsters, and you capture them, and they fight for you.
It's not quite like... I don't know how the game works, but the anime wasn't quite like that. The anime was more like Ghostbusters without the busting. It's just you use your yokai to stop other yokai from being annoying. I don't know, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not targeting me, so I guess I don't feel too bad about not paying attention to it.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm hurting Yokai Watch's feelings by not knowing anything about it. I look at it and go, "Well, that doesn't look like it's for me," and I just ignore it.
The only thing that I find really interesting about the Yokai Watch series is the fact that the yokai are actual real things in myth and legend in Japan and other cultures. So it's they're not just things that were made up for the show.
Yeah, that's true. The actual yokai monsters, as you might guess from the name, are based on actual Japanese yokai, ghosts and the supernatural myth type creatures. My favorite always being the one-footed umbrella.
Yeah.
Which is just the goofiest damn idea.
Yeah, those were really annoying in Muramasa Demon's Blade too.
So next was the oddest trailer I've ever seen. It was the trailer for a new update to Splatoon 2. So getting updated to version 4. And
I did not understand what everybody was seeing.
Yeah, but this is a 2-minute trailer, and I watched it, and I'm like, the only thing I got out of the entire 2 minutes is you're updating to version 4. That's it. I could not figure out what the hell was in version 4.
And then there was some kind of jellyfish thing at the end or whatever, like
lounging in a pool or something.
Yeah.
Are they playable? Are they new characters? I mean,
squids, octopus, and jelly or octopi,
and I asked
jellyfish now.
And I asked on Twitter, and I said, "Is it just me, or is this like the worst commercial ever? Because it doesn't actually tell you anything about what's in the update." And every response I got ended in a question mark. New modes? Question mark? It's like, yeah, you guys don't know either. Now, I've since read the press release. There's some changes to the modes. There's some new stuff, new outfits, and things like that.
Okay.
If you
See,
have a really sharp eye and are familiar with all of the hundreds of gear items, you
yeah,
might see new gear items and assume that, oh, that's new gear, so that must be new gear for the game. And sure, but I mean, man, even people who play the game watch this 2 minute trailer and were like, well, I'm sure something's new in version 4, but no idea what it is from this trailer.
yeah, yeah, and some people that I watched a couple of um, react videos or whatever about this, and their thoughts going in were, is this a new mode? Is it going to be some kind of battle royale style mode, or what? And then there was just nothing to go off of from there, and it was just okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think Nintendo really just did not communicate at all what this was supposed to be, and it was just an overall terrible trailer.
I have to agree. 'Cause, I mean, the only thing it accomplished was, hey, version 4 of
Yeah,
Splatoon. I'm like,
people are
yeah, okay,
talking
but
about
what's
it
in it? I
because they don't know what's
suppose.
in it.
Um, I mean, even all the text is in that squid language. The song is in the squid language. If you translate it, maybe it says, "Hey, thanks for paying $60 for this game. We've really enjoyed your patronage over the last year and a half. By the way, starting next week, if you want to keep playing the game that you paid $60 for, you're going to have to fork over $20 a year." Okay, thanks, bye.
Yeah,
But we'll get into that. We'll get into
yeah,
that. So next was Mega Man 11, which
yeah.
uh,
Which we
the
all
demo
knew
dropped
about
last week.
because because the demo came out.
Yeah, and I still can't beat it. Although I've only played it like I tried once today, and I died in the same spot. I'm like, nope.
Yeah,
I just I'm I'm not feeling. Have you played the demo?
I don't have a Switch.
Oh, right. Well, I
Yeah,
figured maybe it was on some other platforms, but maybe
no,
not.
I don't
Uh,
have any platforms that would be getting new games like that. So I got a 3D, I got a PS3 and a 360 in my computer, and that's it. And Mega Man 11's not coming to the PC yet, so at least I don't think it is.
Yeah, I'm not really feeling Mega Man 11. I mean, it controls fine, except for that one part that I can't get Mega Man to jump up the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably just me sucking. Uh, but I don't know. I'm just not feeling it. And I have to wonder, is Andrew just old and he insists on Mega Man being, 8-bit pixel art and doesn't want the newfangled cartoon 3D stuff? I don't know.
Yeah,
But it doesn't feel right to me. I don't know what it is. It's not bad. I'm just not digging it. So next we have Mario Aces. I'm sorry, Mario Tennis Aces version 2 update, which actually told us what's in the new version. I've got Birdo, I've got Koopa Paratroopa, and Petey Piranha. So
yeah,
some new characters coming in. So yay. Honestly, don't really
yeah,
care.
yeah. I don't care either. I don't play sports games, and a Mario sports game isn't gonna get me in there.
Yep.
Yeah,
So next was Capcom Beat 'em Up Bundle, which is a compilation of some Capcom beat 'em up games. Very few of which I actually recognized. So
yeah,
on the bright side, that's great because they're games I haven't played. On the negative side is it it may not sell itself very well because there's not a whole heck of a lot to latch onto. There's
yeah.
not much recognizable about it. But yeah, it's there. I have no idea what it costs though.
And we probably won't know when is that coming out. Is that some coming out soon or?
Let's see. Let me page through here real quick and see what's in it. Okay, I recognize. So Final Fight is in it.
Okay.
King of Dragons, which is one I'm not really familiar with. I think that's an arcade game. Captain Commando, I don't even know at all. I do recognize the character. Knights of the Round, I've heard of, never seen it. Warriors of Fate. I think these are old arcade beat 'em ups, which is
Yeah,
why I'm not really
I
familiar
think
with them.
that's what it
Armored Warriors,
was. Yeah.
I don't know. Battle Circuit, I've never seen in my life, but it looks kind of neat. It's got ostriches in it. But
Yeah.
kind of like the mounts in Golden Axe. This one's got ostriches in it,
Yeah.
so that's pretty cool. Let's see, September 18th. Oh, so
Okay.
when the Switch
So yeah, yeah.
online
Okay,
thing
that's
does.
next week. Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay,
So I mean, it
probably
looks
learn what it's going to cost then.
that's what I'm curious about. I mean, because if they're trying to sell that for $60, no.
Yeah.
I mean, 20 maybe, because it's got 6 some odd games in it, but
Yeah.
it really depends on what they're
Man,
selling it for.
speaking of not specifically Capcom, but I was at a thrift store the other day, and I see a little bundle with a Sega controller on it, and so I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be a one of those at games mini Sega Genesises, and I asked to look at it, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, this doesn't. This is super heavy. It doesn't feel like one of these at game things. I'm uh, looking over it and notice that the controller is built in. Like there's not controller ports. It's just a cable connected to the box with the controller on the end. And then I finally looked at it again, and it's some other system or some forget the name of the company that made it, but I learned that it only has 6 games on it,
Mm.
and one controller, 6 games, and I'm just like, yeah, this isn't worth it. I don't want this thing. Uh, but it was like Echo the Dolphin, Sonic 2, and then Alex the Kid or Alec the Kid or
Yeah.
whatever it is, and then a couple other ones that I just like. Yeah, not going to bother with
Pretty high
this.
profile games though.
Yeah, but I would rather just go to Walmart and buy the by the at game system, because that one at least has 2 controllers.
Yeah. So after Capcom Beat 'em Up Bundle, which I kind of love the direct nature of that name. Capcom
Yeah.
Beat 'em Up Bundle. It's a bundle of Capcom Beat 'em Ups. Okay. It's exactly what it says on the tin. So next we've got yet another port in the new Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe Edition. So they I found this one kind of interesting because back when New Super U came out,
Mm-hmm.
there was I think, very valid criticism that the 4 characters were Mario,
Yeah.
Luigi, generic Toad Yellow, and generic Toad Blue. Not
Mm-hmm.
even like the Toad, like Toad, just a blue Toad and a yellow Toad.
Yeah.
People were like, why not Peach?
Yeah.
I mean,
Why not
even
go
though
back to the Super Mario Brothers 2
yeah,
and
why
have
not
Peach
the
in there?
Toad and Peach? And Nintendo was like, well, because Peach has the floaty dress, and we wanted them all to control the same. I'm like, well, so make them control the same. Yeah, well, you're rescuing Peach, so it'd be weird if Peach were rescuing herself. I'm thinking, honestly, who cares? But okay, fine. Why not use like Captain Toad and Toadette? Or regular Toad and one of the hundreds of Toadsworth, Toadette, any of the neat Toad characters in Thousand Year Door. You've got plenty to choose from.
Yeah.
But no, they were like Gold Toad and Blue Toad. So now they seem to have kind of learned their lesson. So now it's Mario, Luigi, one of the generic Toads, and Toadette. But get this, when she gets the super mushroom, which when she's playing as a heart with a crown on it or something like that,
Yeah.
she turns into Peach,
I know.
who floats.
And everybody is just like, does this mean that Princess Toadstool is actually a toad and she's just wearing one of these magic crowns?
Yeah,
It's,
I'd say that's canon. I mean, she is the princess of Princess Toadstool. She's the princess of the Mushroom Kingdom. It makes sense that it's probably a royal thing, you know. When you are princess, you get the crowned heart thing, and you get big and humany looking. So Toadette just got the royal power up to help her on her quest. So it's
yeah,
going to be really fun to have that power up and rescue Peach at the end of the game and have Peachette and Peach facing off. I hope they do something, even if it's small, something with that ending cutscene. If you
yeah,
rescue Peach as, you know, Peachette, Toadette Peach or something.
yeah,
I just found it kind of funny that Nintendo obviously agreed with the criticisms. Like, yeah, Yellow Toad and Blue Toad was boring. Okay, we'll use Toadette and Peach, and yeah, it's cool if she can float. That
yeah,
doesn't break the game. Well, it does, but if you want to play the game that way, that's fine. I mean, you've got Nabbit, is that its name?
yeah. Nabbit, yeah,
The one who can't die, who could just run from one end of the level to the other.
yep, yep. Yeah, so we're getting the full Super Luigi U with this as well. So that's so it's pretty neat. Getting everything and then a little bit extra again, which is always cool.
Yeah, all the new Super Luigi U content is coming into the game,
Hmm.
and that was a hell of a piece of downloadable content back in the day.
Yeah,
At $20 for a remix of some remix. Every single stage had a new version or a brand new stage. It was pretty great.
yeah,
Um, of course, I've already played New Super uh, Mario Brothers U and New Super Luigi U and beat them both. So
yeah. But
doesn't hold a lot of
you
opinion.
haven't played it with three kids who don't know what they're doing and
That's
causing
true.
you to kill yourself every 5 seconds.
Yes, it's like oh my god, can I be Mario and all three of my kids play Nabbit, please? I want Nabbit for each of my kids so that
Well, shoot,
they
even if
can.
they played Nabbit, they would still knock you into the lava every time you turn around. Yeah, but no, it's a fun game, and it's a fun game to play with other people because you can play off each other because sometimes it makes it easier to get to certain platforms if you have somebody to jump off of and everything. So
Yeah.
yeah, pretty fun game, I think. So
Although it does lose, it would, unless they do some online thing, it would lose the functionality where a person with the Wii U gamepad could add blocks by tapping on the touchscreen.
yeah,
I imagine that's probably gone. But
possibly. Or either that or the person who has the Joy-Con with the sensor on it can place blocks, or I don't know.
yeah. So next, another port of an old game,
Awesome.
Katamari Damacy Reroll. All right, cool.
Yeah,
Uh,
I've never played one of those, and
honestly, I've never
it's
played it either, so
yeah,
maybe I'll check this one out. I hear it's really great. Um, at the very least, it has great music.
yeah,
It looks fine. So it's a yeah, Katamari Damacy coming to. I'm not sure the pronunciation if it's Damacy or if there's supposed to be a sh in the end. Damacy. I mean, it's just Damacy, but I've heard it pronounced
yeah,
Damashi. So I don't know if maybe that's the Japanese spelling is the
yeah. I don't
she
know.
sound at the end. I really don't know. But all right, so more old games. Okay, now we have to talk about Nintendo Switch Online.
Is that what we're on now? Okay.
Yes. Okay, so Nintendo Online starts next week. It's cheaper than the competition. There are different bundles, but pretty much it's $20 a year, and it allows you to pay to play the games You paid $60 for a year and a half ago and have been playing for free since then. Now you have to pay to continue playing the games that you already bought and have been playing for a year. So uh, I'm sure that will make many people very happy.
Yeah.
Uh, Also, there's voice chat. Uh, it's
Through a
called
separate
it's called
phone
use
app.
your cell phone. Right.
Yeah.
That is so Nintendo. Of
Yeah.
course we have voice chat. All you have to do is take your phone and call the other person. Like, now, to be clear, for anyone who doesn't know, there's actually a voice chat app that you can download and some of them
Yeah.
will interact in fun ways with the
With the
specific games.
Switch, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and yeah. So that's all well and good, I guess. But the big kicker here for me is the online save backup functionality, and Nintendo is doing
oh,
everything
the cloud save stuff.
cloud saves, and they're doing everything humanly possible to make that feature not appealing at all. And I'm just so annoyed with it. It's like I don't even own a Switch, and I'm ticked off at Nintendo about this. And because we already knew that we were going to have to pay in order to use the cloud backups, but then we learned last week that not all games are going to allow it.
Not
And
even all Nintendo games.
yeah,
Now, it's from what I understand, it's an option for anyone to use. It's like when you submit the game for approval with Nintendo, there's a cloud saves checkbox, yes or no,
yeah,
and and it would be like, well, why wouldn't you have
yeah.
that as an option? But okay, maybe some third parties are going to be weird about that, but no, Nintendo's weird about it, and some of their games are not going to use cloud saves.
Yeah, because they're just all like, but we don't want people to be able to cheat by duplicating items, and it's just like, seriously, let people back up their stupid game files. And then a Leaf
Yeah,
points out
this is a great one. We
this is
love this.
this really
This
ticks
is the
me off.
cherry on
This
top.
is the cherry. If at any point you let your subscription slide and forget to pay a month or renew your year or whatever, there's a very good chance that all of your cloud backup saves will be gone forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ain't paying for the online service, your saves are gone.
Yeah.
Now they're probably not deleted like the instant your subscription lapse, but if you have a rough year or if you forget, although I'm sure it automatically renews, but yeah,
Yeah.
if your subscription lapses, you may lose all of your cloud saves. Now, granted, you probably still have them on the system, but still, that's like, wow, Nintendo.
Yeah.
Really?
And this again makes me demand a offline backup system. Let us move save files to the SD card. I don't know what Nintendo's thinking. It's just, this is ridiculous, and it does not make me want to subscribe to their service to
Yeah.
use this feature, because this
Oh,
feature is practically useless.
but
And
if you subscribe to their service, you will get access to the following Nintendo games: soccer, tennis, balloon fight,
uh,
Yoshi, ice hockey, baseball. Now, to be fair, there are some good ones: Donkey Kong, Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers, uh, Ice Climber, if you're that kind of person. Dr. Mario, River City Ransom, Double Dragon, Super Mario Brothers 3, Legend of Zelda. Didn't we just get all these in the Nintendo Classic
um,
Edition? We got a bunch of them.
I think a bunch of them. There's a few games in here that weren't on there,
Yeah.
but most of these, most of the good ones are on the Nintendo NES Classic Edition, and these are just the launch titles. They're
Yeah, but
supposedly they're going to be adding
if
more
you
as
didn't want to
time
pay
goes
$60
on.
for it, or you couldn't find it, although it is back in stores now, you can pay $20 and have access to them. And in October, we'll also get Solomon's Key, NES Open, which is a golf game, and Super Dodgeball. And November, Metroid Mighty Bomb Jack. I was actually kind of surprised to see that. And Twinbee.
Solomon's Key.
And yeah, puzzle game.
Yep.
It's okay, I
The
guess.
Adventures of Lolo. That's one
Yeah.
that
And then
wasn't on
December,
the
right, December
yeah,
Lolo Ninja Gaiden and
Wario.
Wario's Woods.
Yeah.
So yeah, 3 new NES games a month. And if Virtual Console history is anything to go by, it's only downhill from there.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
can just imagine it. It starts at 3 games a month seems kind of weak to me for NES games.
Yeah, because
Um,
you get about 3 games a month if you're a PSN subscriber or an Xbox Live Gold
yeah, but
subscriber. But
fairly modern
they're fairly,
games.
yeah, they're modern games. Sometimes games released that year, and so there's plenty of fun experiences to be had on those systems. And but with Nintendo, it's here's a bunch of old games that we've already sold to you 20 times over since the launch of the Wii, and we're gonna sell them to you again. And
Also, the NES games will be altered so that they have online. So you
yeah,
can any
yeah,
of the
they'll be
two-player
online.
games you can play two-player online, or trade off with any of the single-player games you can take turns with. So
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah, that's neat that they're adding that, and they're going to do the whole save state and all of that stuff on top of there too, like they did with them on the Wii U and the Wii, I think.
Now, here's an
Yeah.
interesting restriction: the NES games that you have access to as a perk of paying for Nintendo's online service, you need to check in online check-in at least once a week. So it sounds like you can play them offline if your internet goes kerfuts. You can
Yeah.
play them, but only for a week. You have to check in at least. Your system has to check in online at least once a week for you to continue playing the NES games. Does
Which
that sound fair to you?
I think that is probably fair. Since this is an online service, subscription
I
service,
agree. For the perk
yeah,
of an online service, I think
yeah.
that's generous. At least
Once a
if
week, yeah,
yeah,
but
at least if your internet goes out, you can still play your games if you're like in the middle of something.
hmm
And if your internet is out for more than a week, you probably
have
are in,
other issues to
like
deal
you're in the
with. Yeah,
Carolinas right now underwater, you
yeah.
know. Shout
Or
out
you
to all my
forgot,
friends in
or you
Carolina.
spent all of your money paying for Nintendo's online subscription service, and you forgot to pay your cable bill. Yeah,
Hey, chaos.
yeah.
So another perk question mark of the online service, and something I did not pick up the first time, but Nintendo is also selling a bundle of 2 NES controllers. Wireless rechargeable NES controllers. They slot into the side of your Switch to recharge them. But
And
other than being wireless and rechargeable batteries, they are NES controllers. But they also have little L and R buttons on top with
no,
trailers.
they
But
don't.
yeah, they
Do
do.
they? They
They
have
do.
those? Are
I
you
don't.
sure?
I'm guessing they're probably going to be.
I thought those were just the. I thought those were just the slides for
Looks like
the
it's
to
built on
dock
the.
them, but
Let me double check real quick, but I think it's actually part of the controller.
um,
Come on. Yeah, L and R. It's advertised as an L and R button, which it's on the rail, but it's still part of the controller.
yeah, okay. Because that just because this is one of the things that I
I don't
saw,
know
and
what
I'm
they'd be
just
used
trying to
for. Probably.
yeah.
I mean,
I don't
why would you
know.
need them?
And because when I saw the when I saw this, I was kind of half paying attention to this, and I was just like, "Ooh, NES or original Nintendo controller shaped Joy Cons. This is cool." And then I looked at it. I'm like, "Okay, it's missing 2 face buttons and the plus and minus buttons." And I didn't notice the L and R buttons on the thing because
Yeah, I
I
actually
saw the
didn't notice that
rail
either.
and
Right.
and I'm just like, okay, these aren't Joy Cons. And
No.
then I learned that they're only compatible with the NES Classic games. They're not compatible with any other Switch titles.
At least for now. I would imagine that they might be usable with some eShop games, like the Messenger or Shovel Knight or something might be able to include compatibility for this controller. I mean, nothing along those lines has been announced, but I would imagine that would be
Yeah,
something that could happen. What I find particularly interesting is these are only available to those who subscribe to Nintendo's online service. That
yeah.
surprised me. I
And
thought
and,
this
and
was just a new product.
this is the question that I have. Okay, so with Nintendo's online subscription, um, you lose access to your cloud saves if you fail to pay your subscription fee. You lose access to your NES Classic Edition games if you fail to pay your fee. Does
Mhm.
somebody come and break into your house and steal these controllers if you fail to pay your fee?
Well, no, but you probably can't use them with anything unless they are
Yeah.
compatible with some other eShop titles. If the only thing these can ever be, I mean, it's like Nintendo is planting seeds to make sure that you never stop paying for the online service.
Yeah,
Like, yeah,
and and
because these two controllers, which are sold in pairs, $60.
60, yeah, and they're not even
$60.
Joy-Cons. It's just they're just wireless NES controllers. They're not
Wireless
Joy-Con
NES control. They're wireless and they have rechargeable batteries. Other than that, they are and they have L and R buttons.
for
Other than
some
that,
weird
they
reason.
are
Yeah.
NES controllers. It's an 8 button 10 with the L and R. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. It's a there's no analog stick. There's no analog buttons. There's no rumble. There's no motion sensor. There's no mic. There's no camera. There's no touch. No, nothing. It's just an NES
Yeah.
controller, just wireless, and they're charging $60 for two of them.
Yeah, and I was at Walmart yesterday, and I forget what the company was, but it wasn't 8-bit do or whatever that is. It was some other company, but they made wireless Super Nintendo controllers for the NES Classic Edition, and those were $15 and for one. So $30 if you wanted a pair. That's half the price of these controllers, and it's ridiculous. I'm just I just think these controllers are just completely worthless. I guess the only saving grace is that they're a little more ergonomic than trying to play a NES Classic game with the Joy-Con, especially the right Joy-Con, where you have to
Mm,
hold it like this to
yeah.
play. Um,
I mean, you can do it. You
yeah,
really don't want to.
yeah.
But $60. Honestly, these should be free with a subscription. Like it lock you into a 5-year contract, and you can have the NES controllers for free.
How
You
much is a
know,
pair of Joy-Cons? I always forget. Is that
fifty
70 or
dollars.
80?
I think it's
I thought it was 70.
no. I think the Pro controller is 70. Oh, or um,
Oh,
look it up because I know that like individually they're who knows. I don't know. Look it up. I forget. It's too expensive.
68. So no, that's down from 79 at
So they
Walmart.
were $80
Yeah, $80 for a pair
for
of
a pair.
Joy-Cons.
Good God.
And that's the full-blown Joy-Con and with all the rumble, the sensors, all the buttons,
They're still
the
overpriced.
two rail things that you can stick on the
Hmm.
rail to
Which is
enlarge the controller.
it's a piece of plastic with two springs.
Yeah. But yeah, that's $80. So $20 more, you could just buy
Yeah, I think
two
there's like
extra
50
Joy-Con.
for one and then $80 for two or
Yeah,
something
let's
like that.
see here. Yeah, 50 for just one of them. Uh,
Yes. It's gross, Nintendo. It's
yeah.
gross is what that
But
is.
for $20 more than these stupid NES controllers, you can get actual Joy-Cons. For the same price, let's see what a Switch Pro controller costs.
I think it's 70, which is way overpriced.
And the Pro controller is 70, yeah.
Yes. A
For
video game
$10 more,
controller
you
should
get an
never,
actual
ever, under
controller.
any circumstances, ever be more than $30. unless we're
Yeah.
talking about like the Steel Battalion controller, then it's understandable. But it's a game controller. It should not be over $30. I don't care. You know, it's a it's a hunk of plastic with digital buttons, and I realize it's got a light. I'm sorry, it's got a light and analog triggers and a speaker and a touch thing. I don't care. It's a controller. It should not cost as much as the video game, says I.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
but
should be in bed, young man.
yes, he should. Uh, he's tired and cranky, so
So
yeah.
yeah, online I'm there. I I think the thing that gets my goat, goose, gander, whatever gets got, the thing that frosts my cookies the most is the fact that they're not grandfathering games that already. Now
Have a
I
lot more
understand that
play. Yeah.
the upcoming Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. Fine, you want to play that online, you need to
And pay the
pay for the new
service. Yeah.
service. Okay, I don't like it because I'm cheap, but fine. But stuff like, Mario Kart 8 and Splatoon 2 and stuff that we've been playing online for over a year for free, it's just crappy to say, hey, thanks for supporting us this last year and a half. If you want to keep playing the game you own, you have to give us more money and
Yeah.
continue giving us money. Because if you don't, we'll delete your saves.
Yeah. It's so
Uh,
frustrating.
all right, well let's move off of Nintendo Online because there's nothing good about it.
Yeah.
Um, hey, saw a little bit of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. I did
Yeah.
find, although the only thing that I took away from it is you can change their hairstyle by mussing their hair with the touchscreen.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah. And then they've got some Let's Go exclusive moves for those two Pokemon, and yeah, that's
Oh,
about it
right,
that
all
came out of that.
the cut and when you get a boulder in the way and you got to hammer it into oblivion. Now
Yeah.
it's your main, it's Pikachu or Eevee that they, I forget what those are all called, but they house all the moves, so you don't
Yeah.
have to be carrying the right Pokemon in your bag of Pokemon at the time you come up to a tree or a brick or whatever's blocking your path.
Yeah. And then they've got exclusive battle moves too, which is okay. But yeah, I think I'm still of the opinion that when and if I do get a Switch, I'll probably pick up Let's Go Eevee because my kids like Pokemon, and I don't feel like buying a 3DS so that I can play the
Well, I would say Eevee's less overexposed than Pikachu, and I like
that's
Pikachu. He's
why
adorable.
that's why I would pick that's why I pick the Eevee one because I'm done with Pikachu stuff
Yeah.
because everything is Pikachu.
Although I'm
And
very curious about the Detective Pikachu movie.
yeah,
So, let's see what comes next. Oh, Diablo 3 Eternal Collection, another port of an old game. So, hey,
hey, at least
it's
it's coming to the
probably not going to
Switch.
have that marketplace attached to it, so that's nice.
Yeah,
Yeah. Seekin joined us and looking forward to Luigi's Mansion 3. Yeah, it seems to be Luigi's Mansion 3 and Animal Crossing are the big ones for most people. I'm
yeah,
personally not an Animal Crossing guy, but we'll get into that. Still got half the direct to go through. Let's see, Super Mario Party. I so don't care. I'm just
yeah.
really happy that it wasn't a 35-minute direct of Mario Party because I was kind of thinking,
Oh, that would be
oh
so
man, that's
boring.
what do they have? They've got Smash and they've got Pokemon Eevee and Pikachu and they've got Super Mario Party. They already just had an entire direct and a half devoted to Smash. So,
Yeah,
oh God, is this going to be 30 minutes of Super Mario Party? Thankfully, it was not. I mean, if you like Mario Party, great. It's not something I'm into.
you're hungry.
Me too. So let's plow through. So next we have Town, working title. Now, you see, there's an instance where I understand the whole working title
Working title,
because
yeah.
be because your name sucks.
Town. I
Town.
don't even make that lame of titles for my working things. Well, I guess abstract RPG was pretty lame. But
That's it's
yeah,
evocative. I like that.
but yeah, town is just. It's just that's the least descriptive and interesting title that you could ever possibly put on something that's just not calling it game.
I mean, at least call it the town because then
Yeah,
it's almost
yeah.
ominous.
I'll be
The
right back.
town. All right. So town is a little RPG. I think I forget if that's a Switch or a. It is a Switch game, and it's a cartoony RPG, and it looks cute. The conceit of it seems to be that the whole game takes place in the one town, and it's like, well, that's a brave choice. Ah, man, I it'll be interesting to see if that actually works. Leaf says not interested in Pokemon Light for full price. Yeah, it does kind of have that feeling. It actually kind of reminds me of that Oasis RPG, if it Lost Oasis or something for 3DS. I think that was a 3DS game. Um, yeah, as Matthew points out, it's Game Freak, the same Pokemon developer. So that's not really surprising that it looks pretty much the same. But kudos for trying something different and trying something as brave as, yeah, whole game takes place in one town. What you gonna do about it? In fact, we're just gonna call it Town. So yeah, I have no idea if that's gonna be any good. Didn't really find the art that appealing. Talking about Town, which is an
Yeah,
RPG from the Pokemon devs that takes place entirely in a single town, apparently.
yeah, and we saw what one monster in that. I think.
I don't remember. I've got it queued up. It's like this fuzzy brown thing with claws and a big
Yeah,
nose.
yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't there. There wasn't a whole lot to go on in this. It's from Game Freak, so I know a lot of people who've played Pokemon are kind of curious to see what this could be, what it's going to be like in the end. But yeah, there just was not a lot going on in this trailer, and
Yeah, the
and
art
the
style
art
didn't hook me.
the art style is, yeah, it's not the greatest art style, but I think it's sufficient. It doesn't have to be incredibly awesome and awe-inspiring, as long as the gameplay is fine and the art is consistent throughout. I think it should be fine. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't know. One to keep an eye on, I guess. What
yeah,
I was talking about while you were away is the thing that interests me most is the conceit of taking place in a town.
yeah,
I'm really interested to see if that works or if that's just going to feel claustrophobic. So, yeah, we'll
yeah,
see. Next, another old game, Cities Skylines, is coming to the Switch. So, it's the game that capitalized on EA completely borking SimCity back in, I don't know, 2012 or somewhere on there with that always
yeah,
online crap. And Cities Skylines just swoops in and goes, "Oh, you don't like that crap that EA's doing? Well, here you go." And
yeah.
now that's a really popular
Franchise, yeah,
uh, Sim City esque game. So kudos to them.
yeah, definitely.
Then we have some more of Demon X Machina, which I still love the title. It's a mech battle game, and it's got a very bold red and orange color palette, which is super unique. And it's,
Hmm.
fast, shooty mech action. But I have to be honest, the music is pushing me away from this game.
Oh,
It's
is it?
this hardcore thrash metal music, and I hate it. And I'm like, I hope that's just how they're selling the game. I hope that's not actually the game soundtrack because I don't think I can play it with that music. It would just annoy the hell out of me.
Hmm. Yeah, I
But
can understand that.
it's an exclusive Switch game, so I'm definitely going to keep my eye on it because lands, I need something to play. Oh, Leaf, you love the music? Oh, well, good. Yeah, it's not bad music. It's just not my kind of music. I don't like that kind of music. I find it unpleasing to listen to. It is what it is. For that style of music, it's probably just fine. But I've had the same opinion ever since we first saw this game at E3. I'm like, well, that's interesting. I can't stand the music. I'm having trouble. I mean, it's so bad
Yeah,
for me that I couldn't even watch the entire. They had like an extra 2 minute trailer outside of the
yeah.
Nintendo Direct. I couldn't sit through but a minute of it. I'm like, yeah, I'm. If that's the in-game music, this is just not going to be for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct, Cass. I'm not a Metallica fan.
Oh,
So, but I've got high hopes for the game. I mean, what I've read about it sounds interesting. With decorating your mech with the
mech.
weapons and stuff that you pick up
What
off
do
the
they call
battlefield.
them? Because they're not actually mechs in the game. They call them something as like arsenal or
Oh, I forget.
I forget. Yeah.
Um, but there's some character customization, and there's the not just on the battlefield stuff sounds a lot more in depth than the trailers would lead you to believe. So it sounds interesting, but I hate to be petty, but man, that music would just kill it for me.
Yeah.
Um, oh, Leaf, not a fan of Metallica either. Their singer, Leaf says Metallica's singer belongs in a country band, not a metal band. Ow. I like country better, honestly. Okay, so next we finally saw Yoshi's Crafted World, is what it's called
Yeah.
now, which is
Officially
a
called.
fine name because it very aptly describes what the game is.
Yeah.
Um, we had Yoshi's Woolly World, which is a world of wool. Now Crafted World is a world of craft. And after Nintendo hid the game for a solid year, they finally re-unveiled it, and we could see that it looks exactly the same as it did a year ago. So I'm not sure what the problem was. It doesn't seem to. I was wondering if we would see Crafted World come back and just with a completely different look and different
Yeah.
theme, but no, it looks exactly the same to me. I guess they just needed an extra year to build stages and make it fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, play with me. I'm not sleepy.
I'm gonna put him in bed real quick. Hold on.
All right. So moving on to where are we? Yoshi's. Oh, so Asmodee Digital, Asmodee. I have no idea how that's pronounced, but a company that works on a lot of card games, many with names that I can't pronounce, like Carcassonne. But a lot of their tabletop games, Carcassonne, the Lord of the Rings card game, Pandemic, which I've actually played the tabletop board game, pretty fun. Catan is coming to the Switch, which I've always been kind of two minds about card games and board games coming to video game consoles. It's kind of odd playing solitaire or Uno or Monopoly on a video game console. It's like, why not just, especially with like solitaire, it's like get a deck of cards. It's a lot cheaper than a video game. But the nice thing about video games is video games can you don't lose pieces. Talking about tabletop games coming to the Switch, the nice thing about tabletop games, like Pandemic, is a tabletop board game. I've played it.
Mhm.
Fun game.
Yeah.
And you think, well, why would I have it on the Switch when I could just play the game? Well, you don't have to worry about the pieces or the cards getting lost. You don't have to worry
Hmm.
about setting the game up. You also don't have to worry about constantly referencing the instructions if you're new to the game, because the game will keep you on task as far as the rules of the game go, especially when you talk about complicated games like Catan or however Carcassonne is pronounced. Because those games, from what I understand, have some pretty complicated rule sets.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
I've always, as I mentioned while you walked away, I've always been in kind of two minds of tabletop games coming on console. On one, it seems kind of odd, but I guess you could say the same for it's like, well, why are you playing soccer video games? Just go outside and play soccer. It's like,
Yeah.
well, I need a ball, I need a field, I need a bunch of other people. And also,
Yeah.
a lot of the games enable you to do the whole professional soccer fantasy.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and then there's a there is a plus to this, and because especially if you're traveling and you like specific games and in the group you're traveling with, it's a lot easier to bring an iPad or a
mhm.
Android tablet or something with some of those games
Right,
on it.
especially because the
Yeah.
Switch is a portable
Yeah.
machine. So
Yeah, because like
instead of
I've
bringing
got
an entire box, just got the Switch with you.
yeah, because I've got on Android, I've got Ticket to Ride and Small World, I think is what it's called. And both of those are fun games to play, and the board games are they're really intricate. They'll have lots of moving pieces, and it's not something you would travel with, but because they're on a tablet, yeah, I'd take play those on a night at the hotel or something on a trip. But yeah, so
So yeah, bringing the um, it's not Apogee. What the hell's the name of that company?
Asmodee,
Asmodee
yeah,
Digital. So yeah, bringing those to Switch, I think that's a good move. I think that'll work just
yeah,
fine for several people. Moving on, Civilization 6. We knew about that last week, but
yeah.
hey,
Got a
did you
little more
play?
information than last week, so
Yeah, if you haven't played that yet, soon you'll be able to play it on the Switch. So yay!
yeah,
Starlink Battle for Atlas is still coming and still a Toys to Life game, which
yeah,
really surprises me.
and they focused a lot more on the Star Fox part of it than the Starlink part of it. The
Well, they know their audience.
Yeah, they know their audience, and they played it more like a Star Fox sequel than
Yeah.
a totally
Weren't happy
unrelated
with
game with
Zero?
Star
Well, play.
Fox in there.
Yeah. If you weren't
Yeah,
happy with Star Fox Zero, play Starlink, Star
yeah.
Fox Link. And what was with Wolf at the end there chowing down on? For a moment, I was like, is he chowing on Falco's leg? What is that he's eating?
Yeah, that was a really strange, just strange thing to end that on.
It's like, so is he a boss, or do you get to play as him, or is this going to be a
Yeah.
spin-off cooking with Star Wolf? You know, Cooking
Yeah.
Mama with special guest Star Wolf. I don't
Nice. Yeah.
know. So the world ends with you. Final remix.
Yeah.
I think they mentioned like an extra area or a remix mode or something like that. That
Something
just
like that. Yeah.
you go back through the game and they just reshuffle stuff. I'm like, all right. I played World Ends with You and I liked a lot about it, except I couldn't stand the main character. He was just such a wet blanket. Um, just such a mopey. I just wanted to slap the dude, or I was
Yeah.
like, I don't want to play with this guy. He's depressing me. So, um, also, the game's controls. It's a really weird DS game because there's a battle happening on the top screen and a battle happening on the bottom screen, and the top screen is controlled with the plus pad, and the bottom screen, I guess, is either I think it's touch controls.
Yeah.
So you have to keep an eye on two things at once, and it's really interesting, except it doesn't work. And I don't know if I just suck which is completely possible, or if
Yeah. I'm sure that's what it.
it just didn't play very well because I was like doing stuff on the touchscreen, it just wasn't working. I'm like,
Mhm.
this doesn't play very well. It's not as responsive as it needs to be.
Yeah.
So, oh, so do you think it was a insect leg? Might have been.
Maybe. Yeah.
It wasn't
But
tasty, whatever it
yeah.
was.
And then, along with that, there's going to be more content coming for Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Yep,
What was
Torna the
this called?
Golden Country,
Yeah.
which is an expansion or standalone experience. From what I've read of reviews, it's about a 12-hour or so through the main story, which is
Okay, that's not too
nice
bad. Yeah.
for an expansion.
Yeah.
What I always thought was interesting is Torna the Golden Country always has, for me, always looked significantly better than Xenoblade 2.
Yeah.
I've not been into Xenoblade, and I like the Xenoblade games, but Xenoblade 2, I'm like, it just looks bad. The combat doesn't look good. I really don't like the character design. But almost all of that doesn't seem to be a problem with Torn of the Golden Country. I'm liking the character designs a lot more. The combat looks a lot better. And the reviews have been solid. So,
Yeah.
you know, good on Monolith Soft, I think, for
Yeah.
some decent DLC.
Yeah.
And let's see what else we got coming to the Switch. Warframe, which is an old free-to-play game. Just Dance 2019, which I'm gonna see if I can rent, and we can use that as a stretch goal for the Extra Life charity event because you want to see me dance, don't you? That'll be fun.
Yes.
FIFA 19, the free to play game that costs $60 but still has all the damn microtransactions in it.
And then NBA 2K19's in there too, and
Yeah.
it's the exact same thing.
Team Sonic Racing, which is surprisingly good. NBA 2 Playgrounds 2, and Lego DC Supervillains.
Yeah, because I've got Sega All-Star Racing on the PS3, and that is a lot of fun. I like it. It's it scratches that Mario Kart itch when I want to play Mario Kart. I'll play that, and it's not the exact same experience as Mario Kart, but it's close enough that that I still enjoy it. But yeah. So yeah, I wouldn't mind getting the Sega Racing thing on the Switch. So
yeah, I played Sonic Adventure Racing, whatever the earlier racing game was on the Wii U, and it was, and I don't care for racing games, but I was like, this is a solid game.
Yeah.
So I'm sure Team Sonic Racing will, if it follows in those footsteps, it's going to be just fine.
Yeah.
So I think we heard about this last week too, but remastered edition of this was the GameCube game I was trying to think of, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles.
Yes.
Remastered edition.
Yeah, we're getting a whole slew of Final Fantasy games, and that's one of them.
Yes.
Yeah, and the big standout to me is actually a game that wasn't included, and that's Final Fantasy VIII. Because we're getting
like 8. Why did 8 get skipped?
I don't know, and it's
is it because it's the only one that doesn't have a PS4 port that they can use?
I guess, yeah. But we're getting Crystal Chronicles, like you said. We're getting we knew about
15 Pocket Edition,
15 Pocket
18,
Edition,
right?
And then we're getting 7, 9, 10, 10-2, 12, and was that it?
There was also World of Final Fantasy.
Oh, World of Final Fantasy, yeah.
And if you want to count Chocobo's Mystery Dungeon, everybody. I love that subtitle. Everybody, Buddy, everybody.
Yeah.
I'm a complete dork for stupid stuff like that. I love that subtitle.
Yeah, and it's just seeing all these games and then
to be clear, it's the PlayStation version of Final Fantasy VII. It's not the remake.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not the remake they're doing. That one's at this point is considered vaporware, but but yeah, I was just really surprised, and I've talked with a few people online about this, and nobody knows why Square hasn't been porting that, because there's a there's a PC version of Final Fantasy VIII, and this was because, and then that's available on Steam. You can buy that, but that's because they had originally ported it to the PC when it first came out, and so they just been keeping that running on modern systems, I think. But they've never made a console port for the PS3 or the Vita or the PS4 of Final Fantasy VIII for some reason. 7 has had one, 9 has had one, and it's just and 10 has 10 and 10.2 has had their HD re-releases on
Hmm.
the PS3 and the PS4, and
Yeah.
so
You think maybe we'll get like Final Fantasy 1, 2, North America 1, 2, and 3 on like the online service? Or
that
wait,
would
was
be
3
nice.
NES or Super NES?
Uh, it was 1, 4, and 6 that came out in the US
Right.
as 1, 2, and 3, and 2 and 3 were both Super
Oh,
Nintendo.
were they? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so we only got the original Final Fantasy on the NES,
Hmm.
and then 4 and 6 on the Super NES. And the Japanese 2 and 3 were both NES titles, and so yeah.
Yeah. So lots of Final Fantasy for you Final
I'm
Fantasy
actually,
people.
speaking of number 3, I'm actually kind of surprised that they aren't bringing 3 over, because that's another title that they have ported onto every system humanly possible. And
The North American 3, Japanese 6.
No, Japanese 3.
Oh, that okay.
Yeah. I would not want the crappy mobile slash PC port of 6. That would just I hate
Hmm.
that. Yeah, the 5 and 6, they did absolutely terrible mobile ports for them. Just completely ruined the graphics of everything, and it was just terrible to look at. And I'm just so happy that I have my PS1 versions of those games. Despite their terrible port, they're at least playable and look like the original games.
Oh,
So
speaking of mobile, did you see the that Lost Regalia, Nintendo's next mobile thing, which is a new IP?
yes, I saw that. And now I'm trying to remember details of it, because that they had that trailer, what, 2 weeks ago,
Yeah, something like that.
something like that. Yeah,
It's dungeon
Dragalia
crawling
Lost or whatever
RPG,
that is.
something
Yeah,
like that. Yeah,
yeah, I saw
it
that, and
looks okay, I
it
guess.
looks okay. Yeah, it's a mobile game. That's the one they're partnering with Dina with, right? Or however you
I
say that,
believe so. Yeah,
DENA.
DNA.
DNA. Okay. Yeah, so it looks interesting. I will give it a try, because it's another free to play title. But
Yeah, it's free.
yeah,
I'll check it out. But
yeah, I'll download it when it's available. But it didn't really excite me a whole lot. It looked like a Final Fantasy styled Breath of Fire, which is kind of interesting.
hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
it's not a game I want to play on my phone. Yeah, it's just not
yeah.
the kind of game I want to play on my phone. I'll check it out, but
Yeah. I
I'm
did.
just not.
Yeah.
There's I've tried games. I just don't like playing games on my phone. I haven't
It
found
all
anything like.
depends. It all depends on. For me, it all depends on if the gameplay is designed with mobile in mind, and not
Yeah.
a console game being put on mobile.
That's why I liked Mario Run, or at the
Yeah.
very least appreciated it, because it was a Mario game designed for mobile phones,
Yeah.
and
Exactly.
I thought it worked really well for what it was.
Yeah.
So. All right, getting towards the end here. Super Smash Brothers. They have a bundle with the system. That's not at all a surprise.
Yeah. Not at
Um,
all. It's going to have character art on the dock, and then the Smash logo across both Joy Cons, which
yeah,
um,
which for the right Joy-Con just means there's like a horizontal
oh yeah,
stripe over.
horizontal stripe. Yeah,
Yay!
but the thing that kind of annoys me
The
with that
coloring is
is
weird because it looks like it's black and white.
yeah, but the annoying part with the logo on the Joy-Con is that the grip doesn't complete the logo.
Does it not?
it doesn't. No, it's just a standard grip. They didn't put that horizontal line across the grip, and that just bugs me. I'm just like, why?
Oh my God, you are right. You're right. I had like blocked that out of my memory. That looks so weird.
It does. It bugs me.
I also maybe it's just cheaper, but I'm looking at the box art now and it's weird because it looks like they somehow forgot to put the color photo of the console on the box. It
Yeah.
looks like they just took a black and white photo. It's a really odd choice to me.
Yeah.
But the more exciting news, I suppose, is a new character was announced for Smash,
Yeah.
and that would be
Isabel.
Isabel
Yeah.
from Animal Crossing New Leaf, I think.
Yeah.
Pretty
And
sure
she
it's New
turns
Leaf.
over a new leaf in
Oh,
her.
yeah, okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, it would have been New Leaf.
Yeah.
I was trying to think, was it City Fun? No, it was New Leaf.
Yeah.
She's also in the mobile game Pocket Park, Pocket Camp,
Pocket Camp. Yeah.
and I think she's also in the oh God, what was it called? That stupid Animal Crossing board game.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with
Maybe
that one.
I think she's in that too, but the
Yeah.
game that no one remembers. So she appears to be. They're not calling her an Echo Fighter, but she looks pretty similar to Villager. I mean, the
Yeah.
same type of moves, just replaced with. Yeah, it's different enough to call her own character, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think they have specified if she is an Echo Fighter or a standalone fighter. Um, but the good thing about this reveal trailer is that nobody died in it. So,
That's true.
uh, um, but yeah, it was a cute little trailer. I liked it. Um,
Oh,
I was kind of annoyed when she got the letter and then immediately stuck it in her pocket, and I'm just like, I guess that's how that game works.
the only thing I was the intro to it would dragged out too long. It's like, okay, we Isabel's in Smash. We got it. We
Yeah.
got it. We got it. um, Leaf is saying that the Smash Pro controller is pretty cool, and I'm looking at a picture of it, and it's yeah, that one actually looks pretty slick. It's got white handles and it's got the a gray body with the white Smash
Okay.
ball in the center. It
So,
actually looks
and
pretty
Matthew
classy.
is saying that she is not classified as an Echo Fighter.
Correct.
So,
She's not
yeah.
classified as one.
Okay.
She as okay as Leaf just pointed out, she's very similar, and she is. For
Yeah.
example,
Roy and Marth.
she has the
Ellie
same.
says,
She has the same pocket a move and throw it back at him. The villager like shoots a gyroid horizontal. She buries it and it shoots vertical. Eh. Her recovery is a swing on balloons, and the villager's recovery is also balloons, but more of a what's the game? Balloon pop balloons with hanging off his back. So obviously heavily based on the villager, which makes sense. They're from the same franchise. I'll allow it.
Yeah.
But unique enough to be her own character, I think. And she looks adorable, so good. And then they moved to a little vignette with Tom Nook, and I was thinking, Tom Nook for Smash, or is he just a little too laid back? I mean,
Yeah.
what's he gonna do? Just mortgage everybody to death? Probably could. But no, it was pretty clear that they were announcing a new
Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing, and granted, they didn't show any footage, but at least they showed more than they showed for Metroid Prime 4, so that was nice.
Yeah.
But really, I think Mr. Rossetti should be in Smash. I want to see that angry little guy run around with his pickaxe. That's just yelling. Ah! He would be great.
Yeah.
He'd probably be the most violent and animated character on there.
Yeah.
And I think that was the
That was
entire
it. That was the end
that
of
was
the
it. Animal Crossing, new Animal Crossing next year. I don't care at all because Animal Crossing is. I don't like the game. I don't think it's fun at all. I don't think it's a bad game at all.
Yeah.
It's just not for me. at
Yeah,
all.
my
My
brothers
mom
were
and my
really
sister,
into
though,
it for a
yeah, my
while.
mom and
But
sister
yeah,
are hardcore about that
yeah,
series. They are serious. Uh, they ain't casual when it comes to Animal Crossing. They hardcore, and
yeah,
it's pretty great. But just never been a game for me. I rented the game on the GameCube back in the day when we had Blockbuster Video, and I was able to run it for 5 days or a week or something like that. And I played it, and I got everything I ever wanted out of it in those 5 days. In fact, by the end of the 5 days, I wasn't even playing it anymore because I was just there wasn't anything to do in it.
yeah.
So
Um,
yeah, it's
yeah,
just never been a game for me. I mean, I had collected most of the bugs and fish and stuff that were available that season. So I ended up what really soured me on the game is as the my rental was coming to an end, and I cheated and I fast forwarded through the year just to see how things would change and to check out some of the events. And there was a sports festival coming up. So I fast forwarded the clock to check out the sports festival, and there was a race and a tug of war and that one with the cup on top of a large on top of a tall stick that you chuck balls into, whatever that
yeah.
little game is called. And that was really cute, but you couldn't actually play any of them. It was just set dressing.
Hmm.
And I was like, oh, oh, okay. Yeah, this game's not for me. I mean, it's really cute that they have a sports festival, but if you can't participate in it, you can just watch them. Eh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Looks
you can we
good.
talk about Luigi's Mansion at the beginning of the podcast. We're both really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it looks good. Yeah.
Although
So
Zachary will probably not play it because he don't have a Switch.
I will probably play it at some point in the next 3 years when I do get a
There you
Switch.
go. There you
Yeah.
go. Yeah, I mean, I won't buy it at launch either because it'll be $60, and I don't pay that much. And Amazon got rid of its
$12
pre-order
discount. Yeah,
thing,
for
so
pre-orders. Yeah.
maybe I can take advantage of the $10 gift certificate thing. I don't know. Maybe I can convince a friend to pre-order it for me for $10 left, and then give me $10 because they get to keep their $10. I don't know.
Yeah. Seekin says I should get a Switch. Seekin
You
should
should.
send me
So,
$300.
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. So that's our podcast. Nintendo directed its stuff, and we
Yeah.
watched like good little consumers. And
Yeah.
then we raked Nintendo over the coals for its crappy online.
That is all I could talk about from this direct during the week because
Ah,
everything about it just screams, you want this to die, don't you, Nintendo?
it's like, oh man, you get fail harder, Nintendo. Try.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, it's like it's not even EA or Activision levels of just evil. It's just stupid, you know.
Yeah.
It's not avaricious. It's not like overly greedy or exploitative.
Hmm.
It's just dumb.
Yeah, I know. It's not like they're overcharging well, I guess technically they are overcharging us because their service is worth zero, but it's not like they're trying to charge us $60 for this or something. It's just
Well, thank goodness for that.
yeah, it's just there's nothing good about this service. So
Yep. You will. Although
yeah,
I will say that the one part that stands out as evil to me is the whole you will pay us $20 a year forever, or we will delete your cloud saves and you can't use your $60 NES controllers anymore.
yeah,
It's like they're holding stuff ransom. Seekin says
Yeah.
it will hopefully get better over time. Yeah, maybe they'll add one or two extra NES games. I shouldn't be so cynical. We'll
Maybe
see.
they'll
We'll
start
see.
adding Super Nintendo games.
I mean, they've got 9 more. So there should be, if all goes according to plan, there should be 29 NES games by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Will there be any more in 2019? I had to think about what year we're actually. Uh,
There
remain.
better be more games. But
Okay, so that is our show. Let's plug our stuff and leave because I'm starving and I need to eat, and your kids aren't sleeping.
yeah.
So Andrew Eisen here, Eisen is the last name. Plug it into YouTube. You'll find my YouTube videos. I'm doing a live stream tomorrow afternoon, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Going to check out some of the games that resulted from the Game Maker's Toolkit Game Jam from a couple weeks ago.
Cool.
They had the theme was a genre game missing one of the mechanics that are common of that genre. So like a platformer without jumping, or a shooter without guns. Yeah, a driving game without vehicles. Um, so that kind of a thing. So
Yeah.
I'll be streaming a few of those. I haven't played them, so we'll check them out together and see how good they are. There's like over 1,000 of them. So who knows what we'll check out. So that's tomorrow, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Also, still coming up, November 3rd is the Extra Life charity event. So get ready for that. It's going to be a Zelda marathon, so that should be a lot of fun. Got a lot of incentives and stuff. Going to go for $1,500 this year, and if we raise $1,500, I will dye my hair a funny color, and we can have a bidding war over which color I dye my hair. So, like purple or green or blue. If you donate to the charity, you can vote for which color I dye my hair if we reach that stretch goal. Another thing is I forget what donation level it is, but if you donate a certain amount, you can name a horse in Breath of the Wild. Yay! So if you want to
I don't
name
see
a
that
horse,
getting abused.
well, no profanity, no vulgarity, no slurs or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, if you want me to name a horse, uh, asswipe or something like that, that's okay. Dumbass, light things like, goofy, snot nose, or that's fine. But, I'm not, no racial slurs or profanity. I don't care how much you donate. I'm not naming the horse that. But if you want me to name a horse after you or give it an awesome name like Sugarbug, we can do that. I think there's a cap. I think you can only have 5 named horses in the game at a time, so I may have to cap that. I'll have to check that out later. But we'll also have a bidding war over which direction I leave the Great Plateau, north, south, east, or west. A lot of fun things planned, so I hope you guys are looking forward to it. And anyway, follow me on Twitter at Andrew Eisen. Zachary, plug away.
All right, you can follow me on Twitter at Easy Night, where I talk about gaming, politics, and other things. You can follow my game development work at DK_gaming and DivineKnightGaming.com. And if you're interested in the Oklahoma game development scene, check out OK Game Devs on Twitter and OKGameDev.com.
All right, that's it for us. Thank you very much, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll see you right back here next week for episode 115. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Right. Bye.